Alright guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice LEGO Star Wars review. Today we've got the brand new Desert Skiff and Sarlacc pit set 75396 with 558 pieces retailing for a whopping $80. Before we get into the price and the set and all of that, as we can see in the front, this is going to be a 25th anniversary set, so it does have that special 25th anniversary minifigure for LEGO Star Wars. And then it's also supposed to be supposedly matching up with the upcoming UCS Jabba sail barge. Now, some think that's probably why it has such a high price tag. I think when we get into this set, as I explained, I think LEGO is just trying to ramp up their sales again and again because fans, they don't have any options. It's either buy LEGO, buy a top quality Star Wars building toy, or nothing else, buy off-brand. And I think LEGO is starting to realize that they can keep pushing prices, but eventually there's going to be a limit, and they're trying to find that limit. As we see in the box, it's just the Return of the Jedi, obviously the scene from when Luke is captured by Jabba and he's on the skiff walking over this Sarlacc pit. It's a given. It's kind of what you would expect for the box art on Tatooine. If we go to the back of the box, again, same kind of printing and box art. It's also showing some of the play features and functions of this set, as most LEGO Star Wars sets do. Nothing else really, just standard back box art. The first minifigure we're going to be going over is the 25th anniversary Star Wars minifigure, and that is Neen Noob. This is a minifigure that I thought we would probably already have, but we I guess never have. This is the minifigure that is with Lando in the space battle over Endor in Return of the Jedi. So it's pretty ironic that we actually get it in a Return of the Jedi set. Again, this is kind of a weird minifigure, especially because a lot of these 25th anniversary minifigures are supposed to be fan favorite minifigures that we're not going to get. I feel like Neen Noob is a minifigure we should expect or should already have gotten, to be honest. But nonetheless, it's a great minifigure. The mold for the head is absolutely amazing. Like I said, surprisingly, this is a brand new mold. For this species, they've never done a mold like this, and I find that very unique. If you can believe it, it's the first, which is weird because this is a common species throughout Star Wars that we see. The printing on the minifigure is pretty basic, just attire that we see through Return of the Jedi. Overall, a cool minifigure. I'm not going to say it's a bad 25th anniversary. I think it was a weird selection, but it is cool to finally get this character in minifigure form. The next minifigure we got is Lando Calrissian in his undercover Skiff uniform. This is a really cool minifigure, very niche, very cool to get. This is not the first time we've got him, so this is a little bit of an upgraded print and helmet piece. We can see from his staff, it's just a spear with a little bit of an axe attachment. And the printing on the front is overall really good. The helmet piece and the attachment for the helmet is very good. Underneath the helmet, just a standard Lando Calrissian head, no hair piece, but we don't really see him without his helmet in this scene until after Jabba's sail barge is destroyed. So that's nonetheless, I think, not a missed opportunity, but it would have been nice to have it. If we look at the back of Lando, we can see he does come with a double-sided face, an extra expression for when he's following the Sarlacc pit, anxious, excited, whatever. And then he does have a little bit of torso back printing, nothing too crazy. Overall, a really good minifigure. It's nice to get these minifigures that are kind of classic minifigures we've had done multiple times. Just keep getting them updated and redone, done to the best of their ability. The next minifigure we get is Boba Fett. Well, I think this minifigure is really awesome, just not in this set. First of all, the coloring is wrong. I know for a lot of LEGO fans, they just don't care. But for the LEGO niche fans who are in the deep of it, in the thick of it, you know this coloring is technically wrong. This is from the Empire Strikes Back coloring. The Return of the Jedi coloring is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more grayer. That's because he's got a little bit more wear and tear on his costume. And on top of that, they don't give him the shoulder cauldron, the cape cauldron, whatever, for his shoulder. I don't know why. They gave him a print on instead, which I think, again, was a missed opportunity. I absolutely hate it when LEGO could put a cloth piece either for the skirt or for the shoulder or whatever the case is, and they print it on instead. I always think it looks much, much worse, and the minifigures usually take a big hit from it. But besides those two things, the printing on this minifigure is absolutely amazing. If we look at either side of the minifigure on his arms, there's a great printing. I love when Lego does great arm printing. It's not always needed, but the minifigures they do it on always look really, really good. And then the leg printing is also amazing for this minifigure. Again, these are things that Lego could kind of cut corners on and just say it doesn't matter as much because there's not much design, but the little design that they do give it looks really good, and it goes the extra mile for a minifigure like Boba Fett, which is a very beloved character and minifigure from fans. And if we take off the helmet, it gives us a Boba Fett face. I don't think this face is seen technically on screen. So technically Lego could always do just a black head, but they never do, and I always appreciate that. So there's another nice addition to the minifigure. Again, a great minifigure, I would say. The jetpack, the headpiece, the printing, all pretty good for this minifigure. But just the fact that it's the wrong color and there's no shoulder cauldron, I think do it a disservice. Now if we go to our next minifigure, we've got Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi. So he's got his darker uniform, his black uniform. They actually don't give him a black torso piece. They give him a little bit of a gray torso piece, just kind of give it more texture with some black printing on it. I think that looks really nice. The hairpiece is the updated Luke Skywalker hairpiece. They've kind of used the same one for the last couple of decades, and then in the last year or two they've switched it to a newer mold. I think it looks nice. I didn't really have anything wrong with the other one, but this one does look nice as well. The printing in the front, pretty basic, nothing crazy. The leg printing as well, nice, nothing crazy, just kind of an addition to his robe on his torso printing. And then if we go ahead, take off the hair piece and turn him around, we can see he is double-sided, so he has the extra expression on the back of the head, and there's a little bit of torso printing on the back. So overall, a pretty good minifigure. I don't think this is crazy niche. They've done this Luke Skywalker multiple times. They've done Luke Skywalker in general multiple times. It'd be pretty hard for them to mess it up at this point. And then our second to last minifigure we have is Chewbacca. This Chewbacca is literally no different. The only addition is he does come with the handcuffs because he has technically been captured by Jabba. But the minifigure itself is no different. The printing, texture, mold, all the same. If we turn him around, we can see that nothing has changed. The Chewbacca is the same thing like the Luke. It's kind of hard for them to mess it up at this point. It's good enough. There's nothing new that needs to be done with this minifigure. Again, a nice, strong minifigure that Lego has always done right, in my opinion. And the last minifigure of this set is, of course, Han Solo. Again, this minifigure isn't really unique. They've done this minifigure multiple times in the past. They're using the updated hairpiece, the updated printing. Overall, looks great. Nothing crazy unique about this minifigure. He does come with the handcuffs. And then again, if we take off the hairpiece and turn him around, we can see he comes with a double-sided face from when he has the carbonite blinding. That was kind of expected because that is this scene. You would hope they would get that printing right for this minifigure, but you never know, like Boba Fett. So like the last two with Chewbacca and Luke, a minifigure they've done many, many times. It'd be pretty impressive if they somehow managed to get this one wrong or make a big mistake with it because they've done it so many times. A good minifigure again. Alright, there's two parts of this build. The first part is going to be the Skiff. The Skiff isn't really unique. They've done builds very similar to this with the other Skiff sets in the past. Just kind of updated building techniques. I think it looks very good. The coloring, all of the building, I think it looks very, very sleek. There's really not much play feature functions to this. It's almost all just for aesthetics and display. One you can say you have is if you push here on the back, there is a little plank for Luke to walk out of. That's something that they've had in all the other Skiffs though. If you look underneath, you can see there's those transparent clear pieces. I love the addition of that to kind of give it that levitating, hovering effect. The one thing you could say is the middle piece, they give it more of a dome than the cylinder piece. I don't really know what the point of that would be. Because if you give it the cylinder piece instead of that bigger dome piece, it should be able to still stand in all three. Kind of a weird choice. I don't know what the point of that is. Not going to knock it down for that though, because it still looks good. It's transparent, it's clear, it's not supposed to do too much. The railing does have a little bit of a rotating piece, so you can pull it in and out. A small little play feature. I would argue it's more for aesthetics to make it more open and more visible. If you turn it to the other side, you can see no different. Same thing with the plank. You can see this little button here. It's what you push for the plank. The skiff, again, overall, it's just for display, just for aesthetics. There's not much play feature or function for this set. And I think that's probably why Lego kind of jacked it up. It's because this is supposed to be something that goes on the shelf. It's supposed to look really nice. And adults are usually willing to pay a good chunk of money for something that looks really nice, especially for a UCS Ultimate Collector set. And the last part of this set is the Sarlacc pit, of course. I would argue this is probably one of the better Sarlacc pits they've done in the past. It's very detailed, very good. It doesn't really have, again, many play features or functions. This really serves only for aesthetics and for display ability. You can say you can open up the mouth here, but you'd have to do that by hand. There's no rotating piece for that. So you can decide how wide you want the mouth agape. The arms, the tentacles, you can rotate with a little piece here in the back. I'll show you in a second. But besides that, everything stays the way it is. It looks very good. The tiling, just the building texture to it, I think looks really, really good. Again, just doesn't really serve much for a kid who's wanting to play with this set. And like I said, on the back here, you can rotate these little pieces, these Technic parts, and you can rotate the tentacle arms. But there's not much else back there. It's not really supposed to be seen. That's the one play feature I guess you could say there is. So with that, we come to the end of this review. Overall, I actually really enjoy this set. I think this is a really good display set, and there's not a lot of play features and functions, but that's okay because this is something that's more for adults anyways. Like I said, this is kind of geared towards the people who are going to be buying that UCS Java sail barge. But for the people who aren't, there are still some small things that make this accessible and I guess wanted by people who aren't going to buy Java sail barge, especially that 25th anniversary minifigure. That's the real selling point for a lot of fans. And I think with all of these things combined is why Lego jacked the price up on this set for $80. But that alone really gears it down for my overall rating of the set. This is just not $80. I can give it $70, which still seems pretty steep, but $80 in no way does this seem right. So with all those things in mind, especially the price, I'm going to give this set a 5 out of 10. There's a lot of things I like, but that price just really grinds my gears. So let me know what you guys think of this set down in the comments. Again, this is a really cool, fun set. I'm excited to see how it compares with Java sail barge. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.